Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know-hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co-founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. Over 15 years of investing experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, fix and flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties within Florida and Virginia. Our services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at bpremierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Let's Do It Talk Show. It's your girl, Ladrine Howard Peterson, the CEO and founder of Do It, delivering on ideas and thoughts. And you know what I do in a nutshell, right? I help to turn dreamers into doers, and I do it from two aspects. I do it from the aspect of career development, interview preparation, resume writing. You got an issue on your job, you looking to switch jobs, I'm your girl. And then I do it from the aspect of business. You're looking to start a business. You're looking for someone to write your business plan, or either you're looking to expand your business or just looking for a marketing strategy. Guess what? I am your girl. Here on the Let's Do It Talk Show, we're primarily generated for entrepreneurs. However, we believe that everybody, even entrepreneurs, are the totality. So we talk about faith, we talk about finances, we talk about the future from a career and also entrepreneur spirit, and then we talk about family and relationships. Today is the second Monday of the month, and you know what that is. It's Money Making Monday. So we have our financial gurus on the line with us, and we're going to get into some juicy topics. The title of today's episode is Black Wall Street. And we're going to be diving into topic one, get your credit right to get in position. Topic two, get your finances right to maintain your position. And third, but not least, get a piece of property so that you can profit from your position. So we're going to have a great conversation as we dive into that. But you know what I do, right? I talk about my weekend before we get started. So with COVID-19, it hasn't been a whole lot going on. But what I did this weekend, it was resume writing all weekend long. And every client that I had from Thursday all the way to Saturday was related to resume writing. So I am wordsmith out. And then still had a couple days. So shout out to all of my clients. Everything has been rocking and rolling. But y'all know I cooked, right? That good old lamb. So that's kind of like my specialty now. I have been chasing it. So me and all my seasonings. And then on that right there is actually from, we had Bible Cafe study with my church. So we did that. So I had my coffee sitting there so I can feel like I was in a place. And then I mean, yesterday all I did was cook. But my lamb was good. I shared it with one of my neighbors, and she said it was delicious. So I'm trying to tell y'all I'm on to something. So I cooked lamb chops, candy yams, sauteed kale, and sweet potato cornbread. So yes, your girl is doing her thing. So we're going to jump right into introductions because today's show is promising to be powerful. How I first got connected with going in depth. I've heard of Black Wall Street, and we've actually touched upon it on our show. But one of my friends kept impressing upon me to dig in, to research a little bit more about it, and I become fascinated with it. So my whole takeaway message is, if they did this years ago, in the early 1900s, when so much stuff was going on, they pulled their money together and built a community which is ran and operated by Black folks. Why can't we do that today? So I'm going to go ahead and introduce, and then we're going to go into topics, and we're going to have dialogue. So today is going to be a very interesting show. So who do we have with us? So first up, we got Janice Bowles. Janice, tell everyone who you are and say hello.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Janice Bowles. I am a real estate investor in Spotsylvania, Virginia. My husband and I, we have a land development company called B Premier Ventures, where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate and flip for profit. So I'm just happy to be here tonight to just share some insight on, with everything that we're going on within the pandemic, we can still profit by buying a piece of property.
Absolutely. And then we got Sakajuwea, who had a wonderful presentation, a Zoom this past last week.
Hey, hi, everyone's doing? Thanks, Ladrine. Yeah, we had a great session this past week when we talked about finances. It was such a nice, intimate, informal presentation and just giving people some, facts when it comes to finances. What's going on with the situation around us currently with coronavirus, people, unemployment. People really need to be looking at their finances, their budget, savings, retirement. So it was so great. And then the follow-up has been tremendous. So I really appreciate people reaching back out, trying to get further information. For me, I have been in the financial management arena for the past over 20 years, helping people with savings and money, retirement, budgeting. And I just love talking with people, showing them how they can come from a situation where they think it's impossible to where it's possible. So I am the CEO and founder of Fanning Financial LLC. So please make sure to reach out to me. Once again, Sakajuwea Fanning. I'll be putting my contact information in the comments. But I really appreciate everyone taking time this evening to tune in to us tonight. They're going to have a great show, and we're going to have lots of fun. Thanks, Green.
As we always do. And then we got our girl, Shanae. So, Shanae is and there she go. There she go. I was about to give a description of your situation.
I'm parked right now, so that's, a good thing. I'm always going to make myself available to speak to folks on credit and how powerful it definitely is. So if I need to pull over on the side of the road, definitely safety first, but credit is definitely most important. Guys, my name is Shanae Robinson, and I am the professional credit diva. And if you don't know, for me, diva means doing it very aggressively. So, in fact, I love being a diva because nobody's going to give anything to me. I have to go after it and get it, and I'm going after it and get everything that is owed to me, definitely. What I do is I teach folks the importance of credit and how you can actually build wealth through credit, and how you can make it work for you and not against you. I teach you financial responsibility on how to obtain credit, and also how to grow from credit. And I also have actually just branched out to, with everything that's going on in the pandemic, is to make sure that folks are actually ready and prepared, and they understand how to obtain business credit and how it works for them. So I am definitely ready and anxious to share with folks, especially with everything that's happening with the pandemic and everything. And like my counterpart said, we can still thrive during, you know, this hardship. And if you think about it, it's kind of like the stock market. When's the best time to buy stocks? When things are going all haywire, because in a sense it's on sale. So we can definitely thrive and still grow and, you know, come out on top. And that's what we are here to do this Money Making Monday, is to educate folks on how to actually do that.
Yes, 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 and yes. So, so again, if you have not heard of Black Wall Street, please, please, please make sure that you look it up, research, get a little bit more information about it. So the couple things that really stood out to me, that in addition to it being in the early 1900s, where Black people, it was just after the Civil War, they were able to establish businesses, an entire community. So it was in Oklahoma. The district was Greenwood District. It was started by two friends. One of them actually moved to that location, and then they started, guess what? Insurance. A lot of people sleep on the opportunity to get started in insurance. Everybody's going to die, right? So really, just as much as you have your car insurance, you need to make sure that you and your family have the appropriate amount of insurance. And this is how they started, and this is how they ended up flourishing. One of them bought an entire 40 acres and beginning it to sell to only Black people. And they flourished, and each one of them, they had everything from funeral parlors to hair salon, barbershops, library, everything that you can think of that needed to be sustained. Unfortunately, later on, as it got into it, an incident happened where it supposedly told a young man needed to use the restroom. However, back then it was still segregated, so he couldn't use the ones on a public place. So there was one location where they had one for colored people. He went in there, and the elevator operator was a white young teenager, and one of them, because if you read it, the story shows it that on one hand, he lost his balance. On another hand, she lost her balance. Nevertheless, they bumped into each other, and she screamed, he screamed, and he ran out. And what ended up happening is, back in the day, it was when sort of like now, the police wasn't really in charge. So what happened was, a mob of white people came and they planned the attack. And what they did, they were planning to lynch the young man. And the Black people were like, no, we're not going to let this happen. So it ended up being like a war. So what the white people did, they came and they burned the entire development and stretch of land where the Blacks owned this. And the government didn't do anything about it. They didn't get any money, any reparations, anything. So it was a serious issue. 1,400 homes and businesses were burned. 10,000 people were left homeless. And it's crazy because when you do the research, it says 36 confirmed. So you'll see some places where it says 300 people were dead, but some places it says 36, and then other places it says 36 to 300. So it was a huge destroying of a community, and with all of the losses and everything that happened, it just never bounced back. in that specific area. But we have a quick video, and then we're going to get into dialogue. Yes. So my whole thing, and you know how my mind goes, I'm a dreamer and I think outside the box, inside the box, and around the box. So one of the things that just kept playing in my mind over and over and over again, if they did it with the resources and the conditions of the world back then, why can we not do this? And then it was like, the question then turned not from why can't we do it? It was like, let's do it. Like, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And I know it sounds like a huge undertaking, which it is, but it's so possible. And as Shanae said, and Janice will chime in, right now with the market, the way that it is, I'm serious. And I'm not even being funny. Those who got stimulus checks could have put their money together, a portion of their money. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some people needed it for their basic necessities, but the whole point of giving it was to circulate it back into the economy. So could have took a piece of it, and I'm so serious about this, but we'll talk about that a little bit further. And Janice has been hitting on to this for some time. COVID-19 happened, so we didn't transition into something, but y'all, I am so serious about this. So let's jump into the topics in the order that they are. So first up, get your credit right to get in position. So we're going to have Shanae, the credit diva, the professional credit diva, to give us some information in terms of that. Shanae. While we're waiting for Shanae, we are going to skip to, Shanae is traveling, so we'll come back to Shanae. So let's go to get your finances right to maintain your position.
Hey, Ladrine. So yes, honey, getting the finances in order should be a priority to people, especially during this time where companies are giving some leeway with when bills are being due and everything. So this is a perfect time for everyone to reevaluate where they are financially, because a lot of times, and it's okay. That's the main thing. I want people to be okay with, don't be so hard on yourself if you were in a precarious situation before this started and you're probably not in the best situation right now financially. It's okay. It's never an impossible situation. What it is getting down to the basics and the core 101 fundamentals. And the main thing is what you want to do is making sure that you understand what your budget is looking like right now. And that is simply looking at all the income coming into the household, all the expenses going out of the household, and seeing where you are at the end of the day. Are you in the red or are you in the black? In the red means you're more is going out than that's coming in. In the black is meaning more is coming in that's going out. And when we're taking a look at the income, you always want to take a look at what is actually being deposited in your account, your bank account, being checking or savings. Seeing if you have, like, if it's just relying on salary, maybe you have a pension, retirement income, whatever that income is, look at it after an after-tax basis. And then looking at our expenses, look at every single dollar that is going out of the household. Sometimes we think it's only the major expenses like mortgage, rent, utilities, but you need to be seeing like your car payment, car insurance, all your monthly expenses, Netflix, streaming services, if you have Apple Music, All that stuff comes into the account. If you're going and doing manis and petties, haircuts, going to the barber shop. If you're taking money out of the ATMs, you need to be keeping track of how you're spending those ATM dollars that you're taking out, because it's part of the budget.
Right.
That's not just extra play money. Also, taking a look at your credit card bill. The main thing you want to make sure when it comes to the credit card, and this is a key thing I want to stress with credit cards are to be used in lieu of cash, not as an additional stream of money that you have available. When you have a credit card, you should have that same amount of money available in an account, like a banking or checking or a savings account, to cover that bill, because you should be able to cover that bill every month and pay it off. So credit cards are great usage if you're doing a purchase for gas, groceries, things of that nature, and making sure you're paying it off. And you want to make sure that you're putting a little bit aside in either a savings or some type of plan. And you brought up a very, very key thing, Ladrine, which I so love you for. People need to understand the importance of insurance. Insurance is huge. You will die one day, and unfortunately, you're going to probably be leaving people behind who care and love you very, very much. And also, you're going to be leaving behind financial obligations if you weren't on top of everything. So insurance is key to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Because like Ladrine said, if you have it on your phone and on your car, you should definitely have it on your human life. Because if something happens to you, God forbid, and unfortunately, we are seeing more and more people who are unfortunately passing away from COVID-19. So you want to make sure that you have something in place, because people are unfortunately relying on GoFundMe to cover funeral expenses. And that's the main thing what insurance is for, to help you cover funeral expenses. And it's evolved in such a way today, it can take care of you while you're sick currently in your present life, to help you pay for bills such as mortgages and rents and other expenses and health expenses that may come up that health insurance doesn't cover. So it's key to understand the purpose of life insurance, because I hate to see when people feel and believe that life insurance is an expense. It's not an expense, it's a necessity. Because that's the one thing, in life we're going to have to face is death. And the other thing is taxes. You can't do, I can show you some ways to lower your tax, liability, but you're going to have to pay your taxes, because I don't want anybody going to jail. So that's another thing. Orange is not cute on anybody, not as a jumpsuit. So just to let you know that we can help you with that, but you're going to need to pay your taxes. So keep that in mind. Also, it's just another way too with insurance. You're protecting not only yourself, but your loved ones. They're already going through a very emotional time when you pass away. They should not also have to take on a financial burden of understanding how will we take care. Oh Lord, and people are chiming in, sorry. How do we take care of our relative that didn't have anything in place? So you don't want to put anyone in a financial burden that way if you can avoid it. And there are different types of insurance that you can put together for yourself, your kids, your loved one, your spouse, your significant other. All of that can be done, where you're talking about taking care of yourself, where if you have a critical, chronic, or terminal illness, you can tap into it. You can also, it's a way to leverage life insurance where you can be your own bank. So that can help with, like how Shanae and Janice were talking about, today the market is on sale. So you have one of those type of plans in place, you can be your own bank without trying to get a loan per se. You're taking money from yourself, using it to better your financial situation and pay yourself back. That is right there, the true ultimate goal of trying to be wealthy. Those are the wealth conversations we need to have, because guess what? The 1%, they're having it on a day-to-day basis, not only with their friends, family, and kids, but business associates, because they're getting it circulating. And we need to start circulating it in our community and having these same conversations, because we deserve it and we are worth it. That's another thing when it comes to that mental space when it comes to finances. Sometimes we feel we're not worthy because we've made mistakes. Best thing we can do, leave those mistakes in the past and learn from them. They're not losses, they're lessons. So we need to learn from those lessons how to better, better improve our financial situation and help each other, help our kids, help our brothers and sisters and cousins, aunties, uncles, everybody. Let's just come together and have those conversations where we're helping each other and we're making sure we're putting those plans in place. But first step we got to do is have that hard look at our finances and see where we are. And you can reach out to me if you want to unbiased, non-judgmental, free, no obligation look, helping you go through your finances. I would be more than happy to help you with that. But let's start today and stop procrastinating. And let's make sure that we're taking advantage, because times like these, when we're in a, lull to a major recession, these are when millionaires are built. This is the time to start really making some sacrifices temporarily when people think, oh, that may be too expensive or whatever. No, it's not. This is not the time to be in that mentality when getting financial assets seems like expensive things. No, honey, lay off trying to get those Nikes, those Jordans, or whatever, those purses and whatever other clothes and other stuff that will not account towards your net worth. You need to start investing in things that will increase your net worth and your assets at this time, because this is a time and place to do it, because it's going to give you a short-term gain and a long-term gain. So we really need to be doing that. And also, people who are looking to retire, a lot of people I'm talking to are like delaying retirement because they see the volatility of the stock market and feel like they can't. Don't necessarily give up on your dream yet. Mm-hmm. Let's do a review to see where you are. Maybe you may have to, prolong it or pay, delay it a year or two, but don't think you need to delay it 5, 10 years, another 5 or 10 years. Really have the conversation and have a realistic view of how you're going to be living during your retirement. Because the thing about it, we got to be honest now, if you were never really preparing yourself and saving and building a retirement fund, and then that every 2-week or weekly paycheck now is cut in half, that lifestyle that you were used to may not be the same lifestyle you can maintain. So it's better to plan now than, have a cold shower wake-up call when retirement actually happens and you're seeing financially you can't afford it. So it's never too late and it's never too early to also look at your retirement situation. So these are just some of the things and conversations I have with my clients, my family, my friends, everyone. We have to have these conversations and they have to become non-taboo. These need to become common conversations we have with each other. So that's my little piece, Ladrine, and hey, you know how passionate I am about this. We're going to be doing
Absolutely. And there's so many things that you touched upon, and I'll make sure that I touch them at the end. But insurance, a little savings, proactive and reactive. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Shanae, who's going to talk about get your credit right to get in position.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yes. One of the things that I definitely want to talk about as far as being prepared is what I try to instill in my kids, my grandkids, and my clients as well is don't get ready, be ready. And by doing that, whenever an opportunity comes, because we never know exactly when it's going to come, is that you are able to take advantage of it. And with so many things and opportunities for you to start that business or to elaborate on that hustle and to make it something legitimate during this pandemic, it's so many opportunities for funding and things that are available for the entrepreneur, for the small business owner, but you definitely need to make sure that you are in a position to take advantage of it. And for one of them, you definitely need to make sure that your credit is right. And I mean, like the loan that they're offering through the Small Business Association, like the interest rates are really great. The term is 30 years. but one of the deciding factors is your credit. And so what I'm saying to folks is don't get ready, be ready. And by doing that, in order to be ready, pull your credit report. You get a free annual credit report every year, and it does not give you your credit score, but what it does is it gives you a detailed list of everything that is on your credit. And when I say that, I mean you need to pull your actual reports, request them in the mail, not what you see, the snippets that we get from Credit Karma, or anything like that. Like
Right.
Get the full detail, 30 plus pages or whatever of your credit report. You need to know what people are saying about you. And then you need to make sure that what they're saying about you is true. If someone out in the street talked about you, you're going to go and correct it. So when Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax talk about you and they saying something that is not correct, then you need to pull them up about it as well. And that is known as credit disputing or credit repair. And know what they're saying about you and make sure that what they're saying about you is 100% correct. And if it's not correct, then you need to call them on it. And by doing that, reach out to them, send dispute letters, contact me, let me be your advocate to work on your behalf. And then what you need to do is make sure that you are responsible with your spending. Your debt to income ratio, the guidelines is no more than 30%. My guidelines is no more than 10 to 15%. Because say, for instance, it's not if an emergency is going to happen, it's when an emergency is going to happen. And when that emergency happens, you don't want to be tapped out at your 30% max as far as your debt to income ratio. If you only have 10% debt to income ratio and that emergency hits and it takes you up another 10% or another 15%, you're still under the guidelines. Your credit still will not suffer due to your debt to income ratio. Be responsible. I cut out a little bit because my connection was bad, but the part of what I heard the wonderful Miss Fanning talk about as far as being responsible and using, a credit card in lieu of cash. What I teach my clients is we have been taught so much that, oh my goodness, I just got approved for a credit card. That's awesome. That's awesome. However, don't look at it that in a way that that's awesome that American Express gave you a credit card or Bank of America gave you a credit card. They need you. They are in business to make money. Without clients, they can't make money. We don't really need them. They need us. They need you. And I instruct all of my clients that when you apply for a credit card that pays you to use their services. And by that, I mean apply for a credit card that gives you a reward. We want a reward for using them. And so with that, either give me some gas, some mileage points, some traveling points, something. And what I tell my clients to do is when you use it, use your credit card to pay a bill or what have you, but then you had that same amount of cash to go and then pay that credit card bill off. So it's a win-win-win situation. You win, they win, and the universe wins. And bills are something that you have to pay regardless. So why not make it, in a sense, worth your while? So I have a credit card that gives me rewards if I pay, when I use it. So let me pay off this bill with this credit card. I have the cash available to pay the bill, but when I use the credit card to pay that bill, I get that amount back in point. It's all about using it responsibly. That's the one thing. It's just like with any game, Monopoly, life, or anything.
Right.
The only way that you win at it is if you understand the rules and how it works. So you need to be definitely responsible But you also need to know that you are actually in control. You need to take financial control over your life, over your finances, and over your financial wealth as well. And that's a step that you can do it. Now, I'm not saying go out here and pay everything and only pay the minimum on that credit card or anything like that. What I'm saying is you have that same amount of bill money available to pay that credit card bill, to pay it. I don't want to say pay it off, because you need to leave a small balance on your credit card statement so that they know that you are responsible with paying bills. And when I say a small amount, I mean $5, $10, not anything astronomical. Because when you pay your credit cards completely out and you take it to a zero balance, then they don't have anything to measure it about, and that can actually hurt your credit score to a degree as well. And a lot of people don't really understand, they don't understand that. And for me, although cash is king, credit is definitely power. Credit is the way that our country measures our responsibility with paying bills, our financial responsibility, and how, we handle that financial responsibility. When you pay everything with cash, there's no tracking behind it. So you can say you pay your bills on time. You can say that, when you bought that car 100% outright, or whatever. But I, as a creditor, I don't know how you really pay your bill, because I have nothing to measure it against.
Absolutely. Awesome, and always great points in terms of your credit. 2 points. One, when you talked about the whole idea of the percentage that you get. So depending on your credit and the rate that you get, if you are financing something, it can be a huge difference in the amount that you actually pay at the end. So that's why getting into position to be able to operate in these things. And then the second one, we had a previous show about that, and I was transparent and I shared my experiences with one of my credit cards and Target. Target is one of my favorite credit cards, because I use it for regular things that I spend money on, and then at the end of the month, I just pay it off. Every year around February, I look forward to getting my rewards back, and I'll get a gift card. So this year I got $375. Last year I got like $500. But I've had this card for some time. So when Shanae talked about the game, you got to understand the rules of the game so that you can win. Understand the rules of the game. Don't let them get the money from you. You get the money from them. So great point, Shanae. And so we're going to go ahead and slide into the third topic, which is get a piece of property to profit from your position. Janice.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I love Mondays because of the fact that here with our ladies, I'm just so grateful to be on site with you guys to just help educate our community, because it's just so vital. And, I hope that each and every Monday that we are here monthly with you all, that you guys are, taking what we have to share with you guys with the knowledge, and just kind of, really taking it in depth and utilizing, because it's just so very important. And I like the fact of how Ms. Fanning Sakawagia basically talked about, insurance and how it's a necessity, because of course, yes, we are going to die. We have to have that in place. But the fact that we can utilize insurance if positioned properly to invest, which is another great thing as well. So I love that aspect, because I'm huge and big on, creating generational wealth and investing, because, we can do this. We don't have to just settle for
less, or feel like we can't get into something, even greater, and have those desires, but not take that risk and that chance. And, with any of this that we have to position ourselves and put ourselves in place, position first. So one of the first things, with psychology, are talking about getting, our insurances and things in order. That's very important and pertinent before you can even really start investing. And then with Sinead comes in and talks about our credit. Okay, yes, everyone wants to have cash. Okay, you definitely want to have liquidity, but again, paying off your bills in cash or what have you, you're not building that structure with the big banks and things. So if you can get your credit in order, get your credit established, get those numbers right, utilize that credit and you use their money. I love to say float their money.
Yeah.
And with getting your credit in order, it just opens another, again, world to the investing side of things, because again, you're not taking all of your cash. You can basically, if you have a good credit score, decide, how much of your cash that you want to use to proceed next with your investment. So, I just love the whole aspect of how we come together and just give such great insight. So, tonight talking about, getting a piece of property. That's the thing that I'm huge and very big upon. Don't let, because we are in a pandemic, get you to the point where thinking that you cannot invest right now. The real estate market is flourishing. It is flourishing. The numbers as far as property values are up 6%, according to Realtor.com, versus last year, this time during 2019. Properties are not even staying on the market on the real estate and the MLS system, days upon days. There's multiple offers being out there. So it's definitely a seller's market. But again, the pandemic, we would think that because we're in the pandemic and there's such a high job loss and unemployment and things of that nature, and everyone's, unsure of what to do, this is the time to get into the game and buy. And one of these quotes that I just really love is, don't wait to buy real estate and wait. This is the time to do that. That's huge. I mean, getting a piece of property and basically holding on to it as a rental aspect, it's a term that is known in real estate investing called BRRRR, B-R-R-R, which is buy, renovate, rent out, refinance, and repeat. That's buy a piece of property, renovate the property, rent it out, so you can going to become a landlord. Refinance, that means you're going to pull some equity out because now you have equity because of the fact that you have renovated maybe this distressed property. You're building income monthly because you have a tenant in that's paying you on a monthly basis, so that's some residual income. You're going to refinance it basically because you're going to get it appraised, and because of the fact that you have renovated, it's going to have a higher appraisal value. So you're going to pull that equity out. Then you're going to repeat the process, meaning that you're going to buy another piece of property, and you just do the system all over again. That's the real true way of creating generational wealth and creating wealth for yourself. And I can't stress enough that this is the time to get into that. So again, you definitely credit. You definitely want to get your credit in a situation where you can get it. The numbers up so you can go ahead and utilize the banks to do the financing. Again, it's very, very, very essential. One of the things that I want to talk to you even more about as well is, that it's a mindset when you're investing. Mm-hmm. A lot of folks, again, feel like they don't know too much about how to get started. They don't want to take a chance to get started. And you have to have a good mindset in order to move forward. You want to look at things as, do you want 2030 to come around and you have not progressed and you're still in the situation that you're in 2020? We have to understand the economy and the cycles of the economy. Every 10 years, there is a reset. There is a reset. Recession will come around. So again, this was this is the 10-year mark, of course, us entering into 2020. We are in, again, something that we've never experienced before as the whole world with this pandemic. But again, this is the time when that wealthy 1%, they have been strategizing, they have been studying far longer, and let's be real about this, than I feel the majority of our community, and they are positioned to where they can still move effortlessly during this time frame. And we have to get to that point, and we have to. So, take your mind out of I'll wait, or I don't have enough, or I can't do it. Start small, but just you have to be mindful and study the economy and take into consideration that, you can do this as well. I mean, for myself, okay, I don't have a bachelor's in economy or anything like that. In actuality, I did not finish college. Didn't grow up. A lot of you guys, Really Dream, you guys know my story, where I grew up in the inner city of Florida. Parents were not homeowners, okay? But I had that vision, and I didn't know how it was going to begin, but I had a vision from being just a small girl, about 10 or 12 years old, seeing, one day I'm going to be able to be a homeowner. And I kept that mindset. And, I went through in my younger time frames of the bad credit, first getting that credit card and just using it and not understanding how to maneuver money. But as I got older, got married, seeing my husband at 25 owning his own home, something that I, didn't see from where I came from,
right.
And us pooling our money together, buying our first home together as husband and wife. And again, taking that and, pulling equity out of that home, selling it, and buying our first rental property together, that's how we got started. And, again, pooling money together, and it got us to the point where we were able to purchase, 18 acres of land, multiple rental properties here in Virginia and Florida. And right now we are to the point where we are self-funded ourselves as far as our flipping business. So we have positioned ourselves with the aspect of we are our own bank in a sense, and it's a wonderful and great thing, but it took time to develop that and to implement that. And that's one of the things that I would just love to just share with individuals, the strategy of how to get started. I'll put my information in where we can have a discovery session, share some affiliates that can get you situated. We have our Shanae here that can get you situated with your credit. I have some affiliates here that even with, your credit is, in a great state, that you can I have some affiliates that are lenders where you can borrow from a private industry to, other aspects. So, I would love to share the information with you all. I'll put my information in the feed as far as you want to get in contact with me. But again, I encourage each of you to utilize this time frame and build your wealth and definitely get started. And you can definitely get started in real estate even during this time frame.
Yes. So very good tips as always, Janice. And one of the things that I wanted to mention, so a lot of people, like we are definitely, the United States of America is in a situation from financial and everything else that was driven by COVID-19. So let's be realistic about everything that's going on. So everyone might not be in a position to actually move forward. But the key thing that Janice said was mindset. Mindset. You can begin to change your mindset now. Begin to start thinking about these things and understanding. And as Dr. Jawed stated, like taking money to put to the side. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stop wearing and stop doing everything like all at once. But when you start looking at the evaluation and you look at the opportunity of what you can do with this, and especially like now, you haven't been out shopping, you haven't been doing these things, so you're very capable of doing so. And the way that it's looking right now, with the numbers sparking and spiking back up just over the weekend, I mean, thousands on top of thousands, we're going to be in this situation for a while. So don't get me wrong, everybody's situation is different. Some people have lost jobs, some people have lost hours. I know with the income that a lot of people receive from unemployment, where you were getting bonus checks and those things. So just start thinking about that, because if you start from somewhere, it'll make it easier. It'll make it that much more realistic, and you'll feel like it's more within reach. When Janice talked about rent, the RRR, the BRRR, buy, rent out, refinance, and repeat, That's how millionaires become millionaires when they're into the investment, because they go through that system, and once you do it, all the money that you end up receiving, of course at the beginning of it, it's going to be hard because you're taking your money and you're going through the process. But I know so many people who are in real estate, and it's just like, I mean, one of my friends pretty much said, I've made so much money that I want to share this opportunity and teach it to other people. Like, it's money to, definitely money to be made. So one of the things that I also want to share is I am actually a part of a financial summit. And it is happening all this week, but I present tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And it's called Creating Your Now Financial Summit. And I'm going to be talking about beyond the dream. So all the other people, they're talking about finances and that whole aspect of it. But they invited me because they heard my story and they know how I talk about making your dream a reality, turning your dreaming into doing. So I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow. So if you are so want to be included and hear a presentation, and then we're going to go in dialogue. Everybody's talking about money. Everybody's talking about money. So don't feel like because of the situation that's going on that you can't learn and you cannot change and adjust your mindset. So we're going to take a very quick commercial, and then we're going to come back with some last minute words for closeouts. We'll see you after the commercial.
Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know-hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co-founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. With over 15 years of investing experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, fix and flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties within 4. Our firm's services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at premierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Welcome back, everyone. So yeah, that was a quick commercial. The ladies were just rolling, so I didn't dip into going to commercial, but these topics are so juicy. So I just want to thank everyone who has joined, and always got to give a shout out. So I definitely saw Andre Watts, Brittany Daniels, Tondra Price, Sonia Price, and her daughter last week. If you did not catch the show last week, make sure you go back where we had the youth on, and they were talking about how Black Lives Matter to them and how everything is going on has been impacting them. So please make sure that you go back and watch that. And then we have Agnes Addison and a couple people, and I can't catch all the names once they go by. But what we want to do in terms of closeout, so I want each one of you to give some closing words. So you can talk and wrap up the topic that we talked about today. But as our audience know, and as you all know, for the past weeks, I've been talking about none other than Black Lives Matter. And I've been talking about the movement and having people to come on to talk about this very given topic. So I haven't had any time to talk to you ladies about it. So as you're doing your rounds and doing your closeout, I want you to give any thoughts so we can have a dialogue, a quick dialogue about that. But I also want you to share with me one word. One word that comes to mind when you think about what's going on, what's the possibility for the future, or just Black Lives Matter and what we have been through as a whole. So who want to go first? Janice, let's start with you. They're looking, Marcus, can you check their mics? A 1, 2, a 1, 2. Sakajuwe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, let's start with you.
Oh, okay. So basically, when it comes to the Black Lives Matter, the one word I just want to put out there is unity. Basically coming together and let's just improve the situation. And I really think that raising the voices, taking action is the best way. And like I said, I was on Capitol Hill, and the way to make change happen is to affect laws in this country. So laws when it comes to police training, police funding, police behaviors, I think that really does need to be addressed, because you can clearly see situations where skin color does play a factor when it comes to sentencing, when it comes to legal representation, and when it comes to our justice system. And that has to change. And it can only change at the core. And the core is with police. Like in any profession, there are some good ones and there's some bad ones. But we really have to have a reevaluation of how people are selected as well, too. Because, you are, in a sense, you are saying to serve and protect everyone,
right,
no matter your race, color, creed, orientation, any of that. You are there to be protecting people. And if your personal bias comes into that, that's where we have a problem. If you have a personal bias when it comes to how a person's skin color is, or where they were raised, or where they live, and things like that, that is not truly serving the purpose. And you know something? Not every career is for everybody. So that's the thing. We really have to make sure that laws are put into place where further and more specific evaluation is used when it comes to police selection and as a career. And
absolutely,
just to talk about the financial aspects that we were talking tonight about rebuilding Black Wall Street, like I said, just reevaluate your finances. Take a hard look at your personal finances and see where you are. You may be surprised and you may be in a better position than you thought you were. But you have to take that look at it and see where you are. And we can't put our heads in the sand like the ostrich mentality and not take a look at it. There is too much opportunity out there for you to be winning. And it starts at home. Everyone, we get kind of sidetracked with what's happening in other people's lives, and we kind of put off and procrastinate what we can be doing for ourselves. So the procrastination and the head in the sand, you got to kick that out the window. You got to take a hard look. You got to put a plan in place and start winning for yourself and your family, and showing your kids how they should be winning as well, too. We got to be helping the next generation. We can no longer be just worried about ourselves. We need this to be a continual generational progression and evolution. This is the first stage. This is the now and the when, and we need to put the how into place of how we're going to be doing that. So like I said, Sakajuwe Fanning, CEO and founder of Fanning Financial Group, LLC. You can reach me on Facebook. My name is Sakajuwe Fanning. IG, same thing, Sakajuwe Fanning, and I'll put all that information in the comments. But today is the time, and we have to stop procrastinating. Let's get ourselves together financially, through our credit, and also be building our, real estate and investment assets.
Yes. So speaking of investment, Janice, can we go to you? But your one word, definitely unity, was powerful. So Janice, what about you? What would be your one word, and also any last minute closeout message that you have about today's show?
Oh boy, the one word that just definitely comes straight for me with everything that's going on is prayer. Continuous prayer. I was just having a discussion earlier today with my husband with regards to a children's song, from the ice cream trucks that came into the neighborhoods. And the originality of that children's song is a racist song from back in the 1900s from Columbia Records. And that was just so disheartening. And that song is still in my head, it's in my head. And it's like something that innocent, and our children, which are our next generations, the innocence of the unborn babies that's not even here now, that's going to have to suffer with the state of how racism is today. That's just so mind-boggling to me, and it's very, very disheartening. So prayer, we just have to continuously pray for change each and every day. It's not going to happen overnight. Of course not, because we've been in decades of repression, but just don't give up on prayer. And that's my one word that I want to use. With regards to, the state of how we are as a community, get our mindset. Mindset is just so important. We have to keep our mindset focused on positivity, continue to keep our mindset to the point where as we can have it as well. If they can have it, we can have it. We can have it even more abundance. It's all about getting the mindset developed and strategizing as to how to. We all here write the vision, make it plain, write your plan down, make that plan and step into action. Doesn't have to be all at once, but just little by little, and you will see the results. You will definitely see results. So for me, within real estate, that's the thing that I want to just definitely focus on and help everybody to see that don't think that you can't. You can. Say that to yourselves. I can have a part of this. I could be in that elite as well. I can plan for, the next generation as well and develop and implement. It's all about mindset. You guys can reach me on social media, Facebook. I'm under my business name, and I'll put that in our feed, which is B Premier Ventures. I'm on IG under my first name, which is Janice Bowles. I'm on Facebook also as Janice Bowles. So definitely, if you have any questions or any strategies that you want to try to implement or just have some discussions with regards to how to get started and in real estate investing, you can definitely reach out to me at www.bpremierventures.com. And again, I'll put that in the feed as well. So.
Awesome. Prayer, definitely, without a doubt, prayer. And then mindset. And just quickly before we go to Shanae, I'm trying to tell you all, that has been the key, the thing that has been my driver since I was a little girl. I've never thought about what I couldn't do, but always encouraged and always told what I could do. And we need to stop thinking about who's holding us back or what they did to us. Those are all facts, and those are all part of the issue and some of the things that we go through. But the strength is when we realize what we can do. When we realize what we can do, we stop focusing on what we cannot do. So we always have to remember what strength that we have in us. A lot of people fail at things because they focus on the weakness or the area in which they lack. Think about the areas where you have abundance. Think about those things, and it's not necessarily in abundance and talking about money. Ideas, delivering on ideas and thoughts, that's money. It's not tangible. Those are intangible things. But I'm trying to tell y'all, live out y'all dreams. Live out y'all dreams. That's a whole different topic. All right, we're gonna go to Shanae. That's tomorrow night's show. That's tomorrow night. So Shanae, how about you? Is your connection okay?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So can you share with us your one word about everything that's going on, and then your last minute words about the show?
Yeah, so my one word about everything that is going on is resilient. We as a people are definitely resilient. We have been through, tough times, and we have, overcome a lot smarter, and we have emerged, in some cases, more knowledgeable and, richer in knowledge, richer in finances. We definitely, are like a Timex. We take a licking, and we keep on ticking. And it's kind of difficult to, and heartbreaking to say, but in a sense, we were built for this. Like, we can definitely, overcome as a people. I think that this has taught us to be a lot stronger as a people, and stick together. So that's one of, the good things that has, come out of this and everything. And so I want to say, that I'm proud of us as a culture, as far as like, supporting each other and, making a stance about that and, trying our best to definitely follow through with it. So, I'm glad that, we have definitely done that. This is nothing that is new to the world, and it's nothing that it's, new to our ancestors. I think they have actually endured a lot worse than we have and everything. But like I said, we are a resilient people, and, I'm proud to be, a woman of color. So I'm a double minority, which means I'm double grace. So thank you, Jesus, for that. And you can definitely, contact me, social media, and all of my social media is the Professional Credit Diva. What I'm here to do is to educate my people on, how to better themselves using credit to do so. And for us not to think as credit as, a bad word anymore, but to definitely learn from it, grow from it, thrive from it as well. And just to piggyback on everything that Janice and Sakawaji Wajia has said, that, we can definitely do it. We can become financial powerhouses, as a culture and everything. Each one teach one. And I love the fact that we as a culture are taking a more active role on building financial legacy and financial wealth for generations to come after us. We said it's not about us anymore. It's about preparing for the future. The children are the future. So each one definitely teach one, and that we are taking an active stand. So, resilient is my word for us that I have learned and what I'm taking through and from this pandemic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love all of your words. Unity, then, of course, resilience. But then Janice's word, prayer, like, I really like y'all words. I like all the words that everyone has given. I've been asking this throughout the shows as we've been doing this. So very good. I'm going to do something with all of the words that I've been receiving at the end, but at some point. So thank you all, everyone, for tuning into today's episode of Let's Do It. You all really need to follow all of our shows and watch all of our shows. But the Money Making Monday shows really have helped me from a financial standpoint. All of these women are nothing but the truth. They don't speak about something that they heard about. They speak on things that they know about. So many examples that Shanae have shared, I use in my personal life. Saka Jawed, my daughter actually is her client, and I don't know all the finances and everything that goes on. That's my daughter's business, but she's been smiling a lot lately since she had this discussion. But no, we had a minor discussion, and she was just saying that, just talking about how it helped her so much. Even as a young person, they rarely go to a financial advisor. So I'm so proud of her and all of the tips. And then Janice, again, we have to get into what we talked about doing in terms of starting off by pooling our money, because even if people make a smaller profit off of the investment that they do in that, they'll be able to get to the point, because a lot of people realistically are like, okay, that sounds good, but how do I even get started if this is my situation? So coming up with a realistic thing. So on our next show, we are going to be having Dr. Karen Hills-Putin, but we also will be having Dr. Stacy N.C. Grant. So she came on my show previously, but Black Lives Matter started and we had to do a special segment and we switched the whole show up. So we're going to be talking about faithpreneurs. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurs, and we're going to be talking about dreams and all of those different things. But how does faith in business and how does faith in careers align or conflict? So I'm really looking forward to that show. So make sure you follow us on social media. On all platforms, we are Let's Do It Talk Show. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, please do that. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. And my Facebook page is Ladrine Howard Peterson, and my Instagram page is Do It Delivers. So thank you all again so much. Thank you, ladies. I love Money Making Monday. So everybody else, I'll see you all next week. Thank you.
And you said someone's breaking into it right now?
No, it's all open. It's under construction. And he's running right now. There he goes right now.
Okay, what is he doing?
He's running down the street.
I'm an off-duty officer. I thought it was in my apartment. And he was thinking it was my apartment.
Here.